Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Cynthia and I just like to talk about the different things that I've been through and how God's got me through them, and just different things that I'm sure that you guys can relate to on here. So today, I know I've been MIA for a while. So the reason I've been Jesus, I can't talk. The reason why I've been MIA, sorry to all my followers, I'm just kidding, is because I felt like I wasn't myself. I felt like I was just in a drought, I guess you can say, in my walk with God. I felt like I was just living my days, my life as a routine, and I don't like feeling like that. I'm just, like, pretty much just going through the motions in life. That's how I was feeling, and I was feeling like that for like a week, and I felt like I didn't feel like reading my word anymore. I didn't feel like praying anymore, and it's not the first time I feel like that. You know, I feel like a lot of believers can agree that we all go through that phase or that time in our lives where we just don't feel God. You know, like that fire begins to burn out, and it's just, so it began to feel like a chore for me to pray or to read my word, and that sounds really ugly, but I felt like there was so much to do around the house, and the laundry is never ending, and the dishes are always in the sink, and the house is always a mess, and the kids always need attention. So I just felt like I didn't know how to prioritize my days. I didn't know how to balance being a mom, being a wife, cleaning the house, doing the laundry, trying to work out, trying to have time to pray and to read. You know, just trying to find that balance that I needed. And I remember telling God, like, God, I don't want to feel like this anymore. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm just going through the motions. And if I read your word, I don't want it to feel like if it's such a chore that I'm doing it just so I can check it off my list and be like, okay, well, I did that today, you know. Like, when I read, you know, knowing that what I'm reading is, you know, truth and words of life, you know, to get closer to God, and praying, you know, with authority, and, you know, praying from the heart, not just saying words just so I can check it off my list. So I was feeling like that. And then I remember in the morning I would wake up and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna read, but then I would see all this stuff and I'm just like, okay, I'll get to it, and then by the time you know it, like, my whole day just ended. So I remember I was cleaning the carpet in my other living room, and in the back of my mind I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna read after this. I'm gonna read, God, like, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna pray right after I do this. So after I was about to finish cleaning that carpet, I pulled the whole carpet cleaner back, and then for some reason the whole gallon of dirty water falls all over my floor. It gets on the carpet I just washed, and I was just like, why? You know why. No, but I'm just like, I know why. Like, this is my, I'm irritated because I was already irritated because the kids were driving me crazy, but I was irritated because I wasn't in my word. I wasn't spending time with God, you know. I know that when I read and when I pray, little things don't bug me, or I just, you know, I know why things are happening. As to if I don't read and I don't pray, I'm just like irritated. I get mad for anything. If my husband comes home and he throws his clothes on the couch or something, I'm just like, ugh. Like, little things that shouldn't bug me begin to bug me when I'm not in my word and when I'm not reading, because I know, you know, me personally, like, I know I should be doing this stuff. And so that happened. I'm like, okay, God, like, I know what I have to do. So I was telling God, like, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel like reading your word is a chore. I don't want to come to you before prayer and feel like it's taking time out of what I have to do, you know, like trying to squeeze you in my agenda. Like, I didn't want that. So I started praying again, and I started, you know, reading my word. Like, God, like, this is it, you know, like, I'm done. I'm tired of feeling that way. It was for a week, but it felt like forever, you know, for me. It felt like forever. So yeah, that's why I was gone for so long. Like I said, like, Not that I have many followers, but yeah, I just want to let you guys know, like, I'm not giving up on what God has already told me to do. Even if I had 1, 2, 3 followers, like, as long as this reaches one person, you know, that's all that matters, because, you know, I'm serving God, and if it reaches somebody and if it helps somebody, then that's all that matters. But today I want to talk about different things. One of them was why people have a hard time coming to God or serving God. This is from my experience, and what I've seen. I know for me, the hardest part of coming to God was letting go of relationships that I wasn't ready to let go of, or that I didn't want to let go of, or letting go of friendships that, you know, aren't the very best for you, or that are kind of hindering you in what God has for you, you know, because we all grow at different paces, you know. We some of us want to grow or want more, but our friends or our family are the ones that hinder us, or the relationship that we're in hinders us, you know, and we shouldn't allow that to happen. We shouldn't let anything get in between our walk with God, you know. And so I know that letting go of certain relationships or friendships is really hard, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why people have a hard time coming to God, is because they're not ready to let go of that, or ready to let go of their sin, or what the world has to offer, you know. And then another one is fear of facing your fears, because I feel like a lot of people know that once they come to God, they have to face those past hurts, you know. They have to face their past, you know. It's not something that we can just sweep under the rug. No, we have to come before God and be like, God, like, take it, you know. Whether it's hurt, unforgiveness, anger, the fear of being abandoned because we were abandoned by our mothers, our fathers, from people in our lives that we looked up to, you know. And then we take all that hurt, all that baggage, all that anger into relationships with friends, or you know, just relationships with our spouses, or the way we carry it and the way we treat people is because of what's inside of us and stuff that we haven't dealt with, you know. A lot of anger has to deal with, you know, past issues that we rather not deal with, or we don't want to face, because we don't want to bring that back to our lives. But we have to be able to deal with it, and, you know, God is the one that takes us out of that. He's just like, okay, you need to let me have it. But we're just like, no, I don't want to open that box. I'm not ready to let go of that anger. I still want to be angry at that person. I'm not ready to forgive them yet. And I've been there, trust me. Like, I feel like I have a valid reason to hurt. I have a valid reason to be angry at this person. I'm not ready to let go of that yet. And they don't deserve my forgiveness. And I've been there. I felt that. And yes, you probably do have a valid reason. Yes, they probably don't deserve your forgiveness. But it's not for them, it's for you. Everything that you're dealing with, the unforgiveness that you're holding in your heart, it's not so they can feel better about themselves. It's so you can be released from those chains that you're in, those strongholds, you know, all the past hurt, all the anger, all the abandonment issues, you know, trust issues that you have from your past. You know, those are all strongholds. Those are chains that you are bound to, that you're not willing to let go. But God is telling you, let go. Let me take it. Let me heal you from your hurt. Let me show you how I can help you, you know. And another one is pridefulness. You know, a lot of times we don't want to admit that it's us that's wrong, you know, or we don't want to admit that it's us that need fixing, or our hearts that need fixing. No, they need fixing. No, we all need fixing. You know, all of our hearts are unclean, you know. Our thoughts are unclean. We all need Jesus, you know. We all need God, you know, to help us. And that's why we come before God and say, God, I need you. Take this from me. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to hurt. I don't want my past to hurt me anymore. I don't want to keep bringing my hurt into this relationship anymore. I don't want to keep bringing my past anger into my friendships anymore, you know, or I don't want to treat people this way because I was treated that way before. You know, let God just deal with you. Don't be afraid of facing your fears. Don't be afraid of surrendering to God and being vulnerable and, you know, telling God, you know, I need you, because it's a hard pill to swallow when God tells you and shows you who you really are deep down. You know, the thoughts that you think that nobody else knows about, you know, the things that you say that nobody else hears, you know, the past things that you did that not a lot of people know that you've done. You know, God knows, He sees, but He still loves you. He still calls you. He's saying, that is not you. You know, that is not who I called you to be. You know, your past does not define who you can be in me. Let me show you. Let me help you. But a lot of times we're just like, no, I got this. I could do it on my own. But yeah, don't be afraid. You know, have faith. Step out in faith, knowing that God is going to heal you from that, knowing that God can bring you out of that rut that you're in, knowing that God can free you from that addiction, from that lust that you're in, from pornography, from depression, from anger, whatever it is you're going through. You know, there's nothing too big and too small for God to deal with. But the only thing that hinders us from being free from that is ourselves. Because none of that has authority over us. The only authority it has is what we give it. And if we let those thoughts in our minds and we start dwelling on them, they're gonna take over. And it's because we allowed it to, you know. The anger, if we start feeding that anger, guess what? It's gonna grow bigger, and it only grew bigger because we allowed it to. And so just, you know, stepping out in faith, knowing that God can heal you and your family from that, and those generational curses be broken. But faith is another thing I wanted to speak about, because I know a lot of times, and me too, I've done it, where I prayed about something, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to do this still? So I'm praying about that thing. I'm praying that God does this, but I'm still worried about it. And I'm still trying to figure out on my own. So I'm praying that God does something for me, but yet I'm still trying to work it out on my own on the side, just in case He doesn't. So when you pray for something, you have to have faith that it's going to happen. You have to know for sure that God is going to do it. Because if you just pray for something, but don't believe it in your own heart, then you're merely just speaking words. Those are just words that are being spoken. There's no meaning behind it because you have no faith. And I know it's hard sometimes. I know there's some situations that people are just like, no, but you don't understand. You're not in this situation. Yeah, but I know who my God is. I know that God, the one that healed the blind, that healed the sick, that brought the dead to life, that healed the lame, that is the same God that He is today. He did not change at all. So my God, our God, the one that healed the blind and raised people from the dead and performed miracles in front of everybody, that is the same God that we have today. We have to have that faith, and we have to know that He is going to come through with whatever we're asking Him. You know, just the mustard seed. It says just the mustard seed. I know you guys heard that scripture. You have faith as small as a mustard seed, but you have to have that faith and not let doubt, you know, dwell in your mind or hinder what God is going to do. Don't let the enemy come to you and say, oh, well, maybe you should just save a little bit more money because you don't really know if God's going to come through for your rent this month. Or you know, maybe you should just start saying goodbye to that loved one because they're already on the verge of passing away. So, you know, just give into it. Just start saying your goodbyes. No, our God is a healer. He's gonna free your family from that addiction that they're in. He's gonna heal their sickness. He's gonna bring them out of that dark place that they're in. Don't ever give up hope. Don't ever lose that faith. Because once you lose that faith, you start doubting God. And once you start doubting, they just become merely words that you're speaking. Like, there's no meaning behind it anymore because you had no faith. But that's me. You know, I've done that. You know, there's times where I allow the enemy to creep in my mind, and I'm just like, no, you're not gonna do that. I know who my God is. I know what he can do. I know what he's done for me. I know what he's done in my family. And then you rebuke the enemy and bye. You know, don't let, you know, just don't allow people to hinder your walk. Don't allow the enemy to hinder what God is going to do for you, because homeboy is scared. Honestly, he knows that that's it for him. He knows that there's no way that he's going to get into God's kingdom, and that's why he's so mad. That's why he hates when people praise God. He hates when people surrender to God. He hates when people, you know, give their lives to God, because he lost his chance and he doesn't want you to have yours. So, you know, whatever you guys are going through, whatever fear you guys have of surrendering, whatever doubt you guys have, just bring it before God. You know, he knows how you feel. He sees you, but just give it to him and he'll show you. Don't be afraid of letting go. Don't be afraid of having faith and doing what he's called you to do. Or if you feel that tug at your heart, you know, knowing that God has been calling you to do something, or calling you to speak to someone, or calling you back to him, you know, don't be afraid. Go. Don't wait until you feel like you need to get better in your life to come to him. We're never gonna get to that place where we're good enough to come to God. You know, he's the only one that can, you know, fix us and heal us, just guide us, you know. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Like I said, I'm so sorry that I took so long, because I know you guys have been waiting for my video. But I promise I'll try not to take that long to post my next video, because I have a couple things in mind that I still want to talk about. But that's all I have for you guys today. I love you guys and stay blessed. Deuces.
Yeah!